We bought Nicolas Cage's Aston Martin DB7, and we couldn't be happier. Welcome to another episode of the Full Octane Garage. Today we're going to talk about kind of a 10-year search that we've been on, and I'll say that my wife, has been on. We have a good friend of ours that had a 1997 Aston Martin DB7. And as you see in these pictures, it's this gorgeous dark maroon, black interior, got some really cool wheels on it. Every time my wife would go over to the collection, she would see this car and always ask, let me know when you're going to sell it. Do you want to sell it? Is it ready to go? And this happened many times over a 10-year period. So this has been a 10-year chase for this car. And not only what's unique about the car is its very unique color. It's a 1997 Aston Martin DB7. They call it, I believe, an I-6. It's a 6-cylinder supercharged engine. This one's even more unique. It's one of the very rare manual transmission 5-speed cars. And to make it even more rare, it's believed to be the first Aston Martin DB7 brought into the US specifically for actor Nicolas Cage. Now, Nicolas owned the car for approximately a year. We do have the original title that he signed away when the vehicle sold. It has gone to 2 previous owners after that, and we bought it from the third owner. So the car joined our collection recently. The car is in fantastic condition. It's only got 37,000 original miles. So as you can see in the pictures, and we'll actually show some close-ups, this is the original title to the vehicle, first title Nicolas Cage had. Has his California address. It actually has his signature when he signed the car away. This was a period where he would have been married to Patricia Arquette. So that's the fun celebrity facts with the car. Now here's some fun facts about the Aston Martin DB7. There's only approximately 605 of these that were ever produced in the I-6 version. That was the 6-cylinder version of supercharged. Of that, there was only a very small percentage, like 10%, that were made in manual transmissions. We don't have exact numbers, but it's believed to be about 160 of these were produced in a 5-speed manual transmission. Very, very unusual to have a manual transmission. The car is a 355 horsepower supercharged straight 6. It's from the Jaguar generation of engine blocks. It has 368 foot-pounds of torque. The rear end's a 354 differential. And, you know, it's kind of interesting. We believe that this had something to do with a future movie, which we all know is Gone in 60 Seconds. A couple of years later, Gone in 60 Seconds was produced, and lo and behold, there was an Aston Martin DB7, codenamed Mary, in the movie. Coincidence? I don't know. Maybe it was a little bit of a bribe to get Mary in the movie. So we'll probably never know that, but that's our story that we're going to stick with because it sounds good. This was originally sold in Beverly Hills. Now, the other thing that's really interesting is I had posted some information out on user groups about this car, and a couple of gentlemen chimed in and said that they actually remembered that car being shipped to the US specifically for Nicolas Cage. And at the time, the chairman was a little concerned about the quality control, so they sent 2 of their key engineers over to the US to totally go through this car before it was delivered to Nicolas so that they knew that the quality product would be going to one of their celebrity friends who's buying the car. Now, something that you see in front of me are some of these leather-bound owner's manual a leather-bound workshop manual, and a leather-bound diagnosis manual. And you have to wonder about a vehicle that is shipped with a whole set of matching manuals for the car with fold-out pages so that you can do wiring diagrams, diagnosis. I think I would probably be worried about the quality control if a car ships with a factory set of manuals along with a multi-page user's manual. I've never seen a user's manual in a generation car this old without much technology this big. So they want to make sure you understand everything about an Aston Martin. They're nice leather-bound manuals. They're fantastic. They have come in handy a little bit in doing a little diagnosis on the car. But overall, the car is in fantastic shape. The dashboard is starting to pull just a little bit on the leather, but everything else is in really, really good shape. Now, the one downside to this car is the clutch is very, very hard to push. It's extraordinarily hard. It's a hydraulic clutch, but it is very difficult to control and ease off compared to many modern technology cars. It might just have a heavy-duty pressure plate in it based on, grand touring performance. It is definitely a grand touring car. This car does not have it doesn't have a lot of support in the seats, so when you do some fast cornering, it doesn't hug you very well. It's a 1997 vehicle. It's 1997 technology. Something that is also very interesting, this was a time period that Ford owned Jaguar, Aston Martin, and Mazda. And as the story goes, that we have been told that this particular car was going to be the next generation Jaguar. But since Ford owned Aston Martin was having some challenges, and Ford said, let's take this and move it to Aston Martin and let them launch it as an Aston Martin hand-built car. And it is the car probably that saved Aston Martin. DB7s were one of the higher production vehicles that they made, and they made them in a V12 version further down the road. So it is really a vehicle that has had great success for Aston Martin. Now, as part of that, they took the design, the body, and the engine out of a Jaguar. The supercharger, it's an Eaton Supercharger that came out of a Ford product. The inside door handles, as you can see in these pictures, came from a Mazda Miata. The taillights also came from a Mazda, and I'm going to have to leave some comments of what Mazda they came from, but the taillights are from a Mazda. And another really fun fact about this car, this was Aston Martin's first shot at composite fenders, composite body parts. So the front fenders and the lower valances all the way like from the center molding down on the doors are all a plastic fiberglass. I'm not sure what the product is. They feel very composite plasticky. They are not metal. The hood, I believe, is aluminum, and the rest of the structure is just a steel carcass in the car. The battery is located in the trunk. They are known to have little electrical issues. After all, they are British, even though it had Ford influence. Fortunately, they're not running Lucas Electric, I don't believe. At least I may have to go look and verify that. But the car itself is a fun driving vehicle. When you do wind up the supercharger, you can hear the supercharger winding up and spinning, which is a really cool sound. The vehicle floats. It's a very floaty car. It's not a car that it's not like a Corvette that you're gonna want to cut into corners and things like that. It's a grand touring car. Very comfortable to drive in. It doesn't have much of a back seat, so it's really for front seat passengers. Even though there is a back center console in the vehicle, there is no glove box because this particular vehicle had to deal with some airbag technology. The only glove box storage is in the center console. It is a lockable center console. It does have some, what I believe is emulated wood trim. I don't think it's real wood. It could be. I'll have to do a little verifying on that also. But it does have the real authentic Aston Martin leather in it, with kind of an Alcantara headliner. The car, for its time, was probably a fairly advanced car. It does have electronic heating and climate control. So that is a little different in this particular car. When you start looking at the, I'll call it the idiot lights that come up, they come up very dimly in an upper section of the dashboard. They are very challenging to read. I actually, driving in the daytime, did not realize that they had turn signal indicators in the dashboard because they come on so dimly when you're in the daylight. At nighttime you can see them. The other thing is the key is very, I'm tall, and the key is very low on the column. So if you had any keys hanging down, they would be rubbing on your leg as you're driving. So I find that it's better not to keep any keys on the key ring. But cool factor, it's an Aston Martin. Cooler factor, it's Nicolas Cage's car. This was originally Nicolas Cage's car. And every car needs to have a story. And this car has got a really, really cool story. It's at a time where Nicolas was still becoming very popular and did some really cool stuff over that period of time. And he did become quite a car collector for some period of time before he had some financial troubles. And it's just really cool to have a car that's from a celebrity like this. It's even cooler to have a car that your wife really likes, whether it was Nicolas Cage's car or whether it was just a really cool Aston Martin DB7 sitting in your garage. So again, we bought Nicolas Cage's Aston Martin DB7 and we couldn't be happier. So thanks for being with us at the Full Octane Garage. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have some cool car stories about your cars, we'd love to hear about them. Thanks for being with us.